In this next segment, we'll be doing how to check your alignment. The best way to check or do your alignment on the transmitting side is you'll take a piece of cardboard, make a line down the cardboard for a backboard. Place this line to the bend line. Use a magnet, hold it in place. And you want the line to represent the imaginary bend line. From the point of the upper tooling to the peak of the valley of the lower tooling. Now if we turn the laser on and using the toggle switch, we bump the transmitter up just a notch. Whatever is interrupted on the left side of the tool should perfectly fit around the right side of the tooling on the backboard. The best way to do it using this method is with two sections of tooling on the same height. Doesn't matter the width. It can be small tools, large tools, but as long as they're the same height and the same point, you place one at the far left side of the press brake, place the other to the far right, and then you'll place this cardboard at the far right end, giving you the backboard. If you have an issue where you need to tweak the system in or out, you have 5 alignment bolts on the transmitter and receiver. You've got 3 in the rear, they're 10 millimeter. You have 1 on the inside, 1 on the outside. You also have 2 lockdown nuts in the back that are 13 millimeter. You would loosen the 13 millimeters, giving you a little bit of free play. Loosen the locking nuts on the 10 millimeters. If you move the inside and outside of the transmitting laser, it will shine the laser up and down. If you move the 2 in the rear, it will aim the laser in and out. If you move the 1 in the rear, it will kick the laser out or in. All 3 in the rear will move it out or in. With that in mind, you want a straight shot from point A of the left side to point B of the right side, not veering inward, outward, upward, or downward. You want a straight shot with the laser from left to right, making sure that it's even straight across. Using the cardboard, you can ensure that. If you don't have the luxury of having multiple tools to set the system up, then you can actually use these tools that come with the system. One is for the left side of the press brake. You line the arrow to the center of where the bottom tooling is, and you would focus the laser to a certain height or a certain edge in here across to the right. Then this one would be on the far left. This one is your backboard that will be on the far right. It would come on this side. And it would be lined up. Okay. Now, once you've got the transmitter lined up, then you have to do the receiver. The easiest way to do the receiver is take a straight edge that will block it off, and we'll use that as a reference. Before we do, we have to calibrate. So we'll go ahead, place the magnet in place, bring the receiver up to the transmitter. Okay, and then we'll do a calibration to get it to lock into place. take and turn our key switch back on. Then we'll take a straight edge. If we use this as a straight edge, splitting the bend line, what we want to see is that straight edge line up with this white line on the receiver. Once it lines up with the white line, then we just lock everything down, tighten it down, and make sure nothing's moved. Anytime that you do an alignment on the transmitter and receiver, always put a torpedo level on the straight edge. You want to make sure, either on this straight edge or this one, we want to make sure it's plumb up and down. We do that on both transmitter and receiver when we're doing it. So make sure it's straight up and down. Once you get the transmitter and receiver locked into place, also the bottom of the receiver should be kicked away from the machine just about 1 to 2 degrees. So when you're looking at the face of the receiver, it's actually kicked out at the bottom just a little bit more than the top. So it's actually twisted a little. Straight up and down, tilted a little, and locked into place. If you think you have an alignment issue before touching any bolts, always make sure that you check this handle. Whenever you push this handle in, always use open-handed, never closed-fisted. Open-handed, you should feel it or hear it snap or pop. If it doesn't snap or pop and it eases in, just take and put a little bit of tension on these nuts right here, pulling it in. It only takes about a half a turn to a turn. Get it to snap or pop.